And it was actually making me very nervous. I thought, I'm never going to make it.
Hi, good morning.
But then he started drinking 8 glasses of water a day.
Weren't you skeptical of it first?
In the beginning, yeah, when I first started trying the water, I was. I thought, well, what do I have to lose? It's not costing me anything, really, to drink the water. And if this doctor from Virginia is right, then I have a lot to gain.
And Sam says what he did gain is his old life back.
So I just started drinking the water, and in about a week it stopped. All the pain stopped in the chest.
Would you say water has changed your life?
Yeah, a lot. In the last year, I've never felt so good in my life. I have people coming up to me. As a matter of fact, just last night we were out, and I met somebody I hadn't seen in about 2 or 3 years, and he told me, he says, what are you doing? He says, you look so great. And I'm 58 years old, and I feel like I'm about 23 again, really. It's just incredible.
But Seattle's play and seem to say, tonight we pray for water.
My dear people, I think if our Lord Jesus Christ was living today, he would be telling you all to drink 2 quarts of water.
He'll hear our prayer.
Monsignor Philip Gray is the pastor at St. Francis Church in Scranton. A priest for 35 years, he has always tried to put a special message in each of his sermons. After he read about drinking water and tried it himself, he had a new message.
I shared my bypass surgery, my knee replacement, my cardiac arrest. I shared all those kind of things with my parishioners so that they knew me inside and out. So I began this one Sunday, I believe, about talking about how I felt or a little pain or something like that and how much better I felt because I was drinking water lately. And that's how it began.
The Lord himself was so concerned about our health.
What began was a water-drinking movement, albeit small, among some of his parishioners.
A couple other people said that they just felt better, more energy, less pain, because they were drinking water. I don't know what it does. It clears out the system somehow and makes you feel better.
And it makes sense to this priest. His life's work revolves around water in many ways.
In the waters of baptism, Anthony died with Christ and rose with him to new life. And he now share with him eternal glory.
There's some scriptural connotations of water, flowing waters of baptism, waters of cleansing. As Catholics, every time we enter a church, we put our hand in some holy water, bless ourselves.
So maybe the water that baptizes us and blesses us is the same water that heals us on the inside. When we come back, we'll talk to 2 doctors who will address the issue of drinking water and whether or not it really can help your health.
The water doesn't taste all that great. Cola tastes a lot better. I don't drink a lot of coffee in the heat, though, so.
I was near a cat, and apparently the cat hair created an allergic reaction, and my throat completely closed up. And so I basically had to walk around, many years with epinephrine, in case, my throat would close up.
And so this was the way life went for Dr. Jose Rivera for 15 years. Severe asthma and allergies kept him from a normal life, at least normal in the way we see it. But then this family doctor read about water.
At first I was sort of skeptical because, like anyone else, I would say, water, how's water going to help you out? I remember one day I was wheezing real bad, and I called Dr. Batmangeli, and he said, you're wheezing pretty bad. And I said, yes. And he said, well, drink 2 glasses of water and put a pinch of salt on your tongue. And I said, what? And I did. And one of the nurses noticed that I wasn't wheezing as much from after I drank the water and put the salt. So I called him back and I said, hey, this crazy thing works. And
from then on, Dr. Rivera controlled his asthma with water and salt. Yes, salt. Adding it to your diet may sound radical, but Rivera says salt is not the enemy.
contrary to what we've been telling everyone, if you have hypertension, if you have renal disease, if you have cardiovascular disease, if you have diabetes, watch your salt intake. And that's true, but the problem was, guess what? All these people don't drink water. Salt is a good thing as long as we balance it, with the proper intake of water.
So then, Dr. Rivera started checking to see how much water his patients drank.
The average person drinks 1 glass of water a day.
The reasons people gave? It didn't taste as good as the other sweeter options. Sodas, teas, coffees, juices.
Have you ever noticed that when on television or an accident, an ambulance, when somebody gets hurt, what is the first thing they give them? They give them an IV. And what do they hang up? A bag of saline. And what is saline? Salt and water. The main structure of our body is cells. And the cells do need water. They need to exchange nutrients. They need to exchange minerals. So if you deplete the basic structure of the body, which are cells, from water, then basically disease can take over, and then they can't function properly, and then the body tries to adapt because it doesn't have this essential source, which is water.
It was here in Dr. Batmangelich's Virginia home that Dr. Rivera and some colleagues met him and talked about water.
They have to understand they cannot replace water with other fluids.
Dr. Faridun Batmangelich is the man behind this theory. It all started years ago in his homeland of Iran. It was the time of the revolution, and he was in jail as a political prisoner, slated to be shot. As a doctor, he was made to care for the other prisoners, but he had no medicines to give, only water. And that was exactly what he gave a fellow prisoner one night when he was doubled up in pain from an ulcer. And miraculously, the pain went away.
When I discovered the pain-relieving property of water, I started doing research.
You use the water to treat other prisoners?
I've treated 3,000 peptic ulcer cases in 2 years and 7 months that I was in prison.
When the doctor presented this information at his trial, he was pardoned and allowed to live, to continue his research. What has resulted from his life's work is this book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Thousands have read the book and written Batmangelich with their results and thanks.
People 90 years old, people 70 years old, and so on, have completely recovered from angina pain with just increasing their regular water intake.
Batmangelich says most degenerative diseases and allergies can be prevented, helped, even cured with water.
We take the wrong fluids. We drink coffee, we drink tea, we drink alcohol. These are all dehydrating beverages, and they draw water outside from the cells, and they create a total chaos in the system.
Batmangelich says it is also a lack of water that causes most people to be overweight.
We associate hunger and thirst as the same sensation, and we assume it to be hunger, and we overeat.
The key to not overeating? Drinking enough water and staying completely away from caffeinated drinks. Batmangelich says then you'll be able to separate being hungry from thirsty, and you won't overeat.
There are those in the medical community who probably think you're a bit radical.
I didn't create water. I don't sell water. I have no motives other than advancement of science and bringing health back to people. What is radical in that?
Evidently plenty to a lot of people. You would think if this information is true, the medical officials across the country would be jumping at it, right? Wrong. When we come back, we'll tell you why.